If you are over 45 and something in your body no longer feels familiar, the exhaustion that doesn't lift, the anxiety that comes out of nowhere, the broken sleep, the sudden emotional swings, and every time you try to talk about it, you're told it's normal. Please hear this clearly. You are not exaggerating, and you are not imagining it. More than 75% of women experience significant menopausal symptoms, yet most say they were never informed, prepared, or supported. If this feels like your story, take a breath with me. Like this video and subscribe to the Hormonal Balance Institute. This is a place where women are finally listened to. There is a moment many women reach in midlife. You are still functioning, still showing up, still taking care of everyone else. But inside, something feels off. You wake up tired even after sleeping. Your nervous system feels constantly alert. Your emotions feel closer to the surface. Your tolerance for stress, noise, and pressure is suddenly much lower. And when you finally say it out loud, something isn't right. The response is often dismissive. It's just hormones. It's part of getting older. But here is what's rarely explained. According to the North American Menopause Society, fewer than 20% of healthcare providers receive formal education in menopause care. So when women feel dismissed, it is often not because their symptoms are minor, but because the system itself is unprepared. When a woman is not believed about her body, something subtle but powerful happens. Her nervous system does not soften, it tightens. The body learns, I am on my own. And that state, living in quiet alertness, has consequences. Sleep becomes lighter, anxiety grows louder, mood becomes more fragile, recovery takes longer. This is not weakness. This is physiology. Chronically elevated stress hormones are linked to worsened sleep, increased anxiety, emotional reactivity, and difficulty regulating mood. So being not heard is not just emotionally painful, it has biological effects. For many women, menopause is not just uncomfortable, it is destabilizing. Large studies show that women in the perimenopausal transition have a 30 to 40% higher risk of depressive symptoms compared to premenopausal women. Up to 60% of women in menopause report chronic sleep problems, and poor sleep is one of the strongest predictors of anxiety, low mood, and emotional overwhelm. So, when a woman says, I don't feel like myself anymore, she is often describing a real neurobiological shift, not a personal failure. There is another side of this conversation that deserves gentleness and honesty. For some women, this transition becomes a period of increased emotional vulnerability, especially when sleep is broken, stress is high, and support is lacking. Research shows that the menopausal transition can coincide with higher rates of suicidal thoughts, particularly in women with a history of depression, trauma, or chronic stress. This does not mean menopause causes suicide. It means that when hormonal change, nervous system overload, and lack of validation come together, some women struggle deeply. If you have ever felt overwhelmed to the point of not wanting to exist anymore, please hear this clearly. That is not shameful. It is a signal for support. You deserve care. And you do not have to carry that alone. This is where the conversation becomes larger than any one body. When the California Menopause Bill was introduced, it wasn't extreme. It didn't promise miracles. It simply said this: women in menopause deserve proper care, insurance coverage, and informed doctors. The bill actually passed the California legislature with broad support, but it was ultimately blocked. The official reason was cost. There were concerns that requiring insurance coverage for menopause care could increase healthcare expenses, and that insurers wanted more control over what would be considered medically necessary. In other words, the goal was acknowledged, but the system was not ready to prioritize it financially. And that's why this moment mattered so much to women. Because what women heard wasn't a technical discussion. What they heard was, once again, our suffering is recognized, but still not acted on. And that revealed something important. Menopause is not just a personal transition. It is a blind spot in healthcare, where women's lived experience often weighs less than budgets and systems. Menopause symptoms are estimated to cost the United States over $26 billion each year in medical expenses and lost productivity. That number matters because it tells us something simple. This is not rare, this is not minor, and this is not something women should be expected to endure quietly. When care is fragmented or inaccessible, women often pay the price privately through out-of-pocket costs, lost sleep, lost confidence, and lost quality of life. Something is shifting. Women are naming what hurts. They are questioning outdated systems. They are asking for care that reflects reality, not dismissal, not perfection, not miracles, just understanding. The menopause bill became a symbol, not because it fixed everything, but because it named what women have felt for decades. Our experience matters. While systems take time to change, your body still needs support today, not pressure, but real, lived options. For many women, that support begins with gentle movement. Practices like Asian Pilates and Japanese-inspired flow use slow, rhythmic movements to calm the nervous system and bring the body back into balance. Not by pushing harder, but by moving in a way that feels respectful, steady, and safe. This kind of movement isn't about performance or results. It's about restoring rhythm, helping the body settle enough for sleep to deepen, anxiety to soften, and energy to slowly return. That's exactly why I created a dedicated collection of these practices. Gentle, grounding movements designed specifically for women in midlife. If your body responds well to this kind of flow, you'll find them gathered together in the Japanese Wellness for Midlife Women playlist, a place you can return to whenever you need calm, consistency, and support. You don't have to do everything at once. You don't have to fix your body. Sometimes the most powerful step is choosing a practice that meets you where you are and coming back to it again and again. And from that place of steadiness, many women then find it easier to explore other forms of support, whether that's speaking with a trusted doctor, asking about hormonal care, or adding small, nourishing habits that support this season of life. Because when the nervous system feels safer, the body becomes more open to healing, to clarity, and to feeling like yourself again. The Hormonal Balance Institute exists because too many women have been navigating this transition alone. Here, we talk about symptoms without shame, emotions without dismissal, bodies without judgment. We combine science that explains why, gentle practices that help the body feel safe, language that honors lived experience, because menopause is not just hormonal. It is neurological, it is emotional, and it deserves care. If this video gave words to something you've been feeling, let this be your reminder. You are not too sensitive. You are not imagining this, and you are not alone. Your body is responding to real changes, and real changes deserve understanding. Like this video and subscribe to the Hormonal Balance Institute. And if you know a woman who feels unseen right now, share this with her. Sometimes the most healing sentence is supported by both science and compassion. I believe you.